Our Heavenly Father, we come together today to rejoice in your name. We're here in service to you. We're here in service to our communities. Help us as members of this fantastic organization to always remember that it is in your name that we are doing our work, that we are service to our communities at all times. It is in your name that we ask you to bless this food now and always. Thank you. Amen. Amen. All right. Pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now it's also my pleasure to invite Linsola, who is the chair of the Hendersonville Chamber, to the podium. He is going to conduct business today. Let's welcome Linsola.
Thanks, Brenda. Appreciate it. Welcome, everybody. It's a beautiful day today, so I'm excited about that. I also have the distinct pleasure of welcoming some new members to the Chamber. I'd like to start off by once again thanking everyone for having easy names. It really helps a lot. So if you know any businesses in town that have easy names, we would love to have them as members of the Chamber. So I'd like to welcome Associated Business Services, Jamie Watson, Julie White, P&M Investment Company, LLC, Peter Park, Hampered Chef Limited, Debbie Carter, Pinnacle Health, Lynn Metcalf, Principal Financial Group, Brian Schnabel, Sterling Energy, Jimmy Carter, and Sumner Regional Medical Center at Angela Alexander. So please take a minute to recognize these folks. Hopefully you've jotted all of their names down and plan to do business with them very, very soon. Thank you, Zach. I also would like to recognize the elected officials who registered for lunch today. They include Don Long, our Sumner County School Board Chair. Frank Friel, Senior, County Commissioner. And Chip Penzer, who I recently found out is the Hendersonville City Commissioner. So Chip. Okay, what I'd like to do is invite Brenda to come back again, and she has quick announcement for us about the Ralph Kennedy Chemical.
The Chamber has had the great pleasure in the last several years to partner with both McAllister Norton and Atkinson Insurance Agency for the award of the Ralph Kennedy Lifetime Achievement Award. So it's my pleasure now to invite Atkinson to come to the podium. This microphone is beginning to cut out a little bit, so maybe we can make this work. But y'all, welcome you to the podium. We're going to give you a little information about the history of this. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Brenda. It's a real honor to be here in front of you. Just a few moments to talk about my longtime friend, Ralph Haney. A lot of you knew Ralph. I'm pleased to see his wife Maureen here, his family here with us. A lot of you knew Ralph that has been around for a while, and a lot of you in this room probably didn't know who Ralph Hanning was. What can I say? Ralph Hanning was Mr. Hendersonville. If there was ever a business leader in this community that reached out, that really tried to put Hendersonville business, Hendersonville communities, Hendersonville schools on the map, it was Ralph Haney. He had a lot of friends. He worked hard at that. I don't get calls anymore on my birthday. Ralph used to call me on my birthday. Kind of neat. He called a lot of people on their birthday. But he was just a real inspiration. He's an inspiration to me as a young business owner. We started our little company in '84. Ralph reached out immediately. How can I help you? How can you be a better part of this community? How can we help business and our chamber grow? And I think of the campaigns of I Love Hendersonville. Boy, did he love Hendersonville with a passion. And what can we take from that? I think we can take maybe a little give back. Maybe we all need to look inward and give a little more back to our community in which we live in, promote our chamber, and always promote Hendersonville. That's what Ralph did. This idea for a Ralph Hanning Award was not it might have been a brainstorm, but it was really more 2 or 3 individuals kind of looking at each other and saying, what can we do collectively and as a community to honor a great man and a great citizen and a great ambassador for our community. And after months, maybe a year or 2 that passed, we partnered with the chamber and created this Ralph Hanning Award. We have bestowed the award on many, many deserving citizens. Some who are no longer with us, some who are still with us. But it's a great honor to be involved, and I think you'll be pleased with this year's recipient. I may now turn this over to my good friend, Charles Cohen. Thank you.
Old men tend to stop and reflect more than some younger people do. And as I sat there and heard you and thought about the Hendersonville Chamber, I'm willing to bet that I've been a member of this chamber longer than anyone in this room. My membership goes back to 1971. And I think that was, I think I would top just about all of you, and many of you have moved here since that time. One of the greatest people, greatest couple who moved here in 1972, I think, was Ralph and Maureen Hanning. And I had the great pleasure to know them for many, many years and work with them on a daily basis for many of those years in so many different things. And let me just say one correction. Ralph Hanning wasn't just Mr. Hendersonville. He was Mr. Sumner County. And he was involved in Gallatin and Sumner County, and Maureen was right there with him doing events, work throughout the community for so many, many years. And again, I'm just so pleased to be here and have Maureen and the sons here today and their family to just stop for a moment and recognize Ralph and Maureen. But then to have a special moment to give this award this year to my law partner, Bill Wright. And I am, again, Bill Wright and I also met in 1971, and Bill Wright has been a visible, important, plugged-in member of this community for 40-plus years. And he and Diane and their families have been significant contributors to everything good that's gone on in Sumner County and in Hendersonville for all those years. I'm not going to read you his bio. You can go to the website and see it along with his pictures. But what I would say about Bill Wright is that if the people of Hendersonville were looking for leadership in their church or in their chamber, or the county was looking for a county law director to steer them through years of really fascinating turmoil as far as, you think this week is turmoil in Sumner County, Bill can tell you a long litany of years that were turmoil in Sumner County. This is not a new week for Sumner County. Let's just put it that way. And Bill Wright has been there every step of the way. And I think a number of us came today to recognize him and Diane and to say thank you and to say we really appreciate you. And Maureen, we think that there's one person today who embodies the spirit and the leadership qualities of Ralph Hanning, that's Bill Wright. So join me in presenting this report.
I'm reminded a number of years ago I read of some gentleman who had been honored, and he made this comment, if I remember it correctly, that when he was honored, the question that was asked was, he wanted people to ask the question, not why was he honored, that he was honored, and I missed it. So I didn't know this was going to happen. You know? I'll come back better than I remember. I'm sorry you didn't read this Bible. I'm certainly pleased my wife to be here. We moved here in 1968 to Hendersonville. It has been an absolute dream place to be. I would not have wanted to be anywhere else. I was at that time working in Nashville. In 1985, I came to Hendersonville to practice law with Trump, and he could not have been anybody. We either practiced now. That's a quarter of a century. I was 25 years old, so you had that 50 years of age, looking forward to the next 50. Maureen, Henry, it's so good to see you. I look around the room and I see people that I've known in this community, and you've meant so much to this community. And I appreciate what you had to say about Ralph Hanning. He invited me one time to use for lunch, and I thought I was singled out. And then I found sometime after his death that it was not me, it was everybody he knew, that he would write down their birthday, their anniversary, and he would invite you. Invite me, Maureen, over to your house. I think you were there that day. And I had lunch, and he said, go on the plate. And I was very pleased to do that. But I have to tell you another story. You said Hendersonville, Charles said something county. I have to tell you that a number of years ago, my sister, who lives in Huntsville, called me one day, and she said, we, meaning she and her husband, just got back from Washington, D.C., and we ran into a man who knew you. His name was Ralph Hanning, and he's in the real estate business. And he went on to tell me how they come to get acquainted with Ralph in an unusual way. They didn't know each other, but they were wandering around trying to figure out which subway or metro to take. The metro system in D.C. was new. And Ralph went over. Now, this is typical Ralph Hanning. Went over and said, may I assist you in some way? And they said, well, we're going to the Capitol or wherever. And he said, well, you only get on this next subway that comes, and it'll take you right over there. But you're going to have to take another one maybe to get there. He was going some other direction. But he took me, transferred with them to another car, and they got to where they were going. And they just thought that was so unusual. And I said, it's not really unusual for that. He was a sweet, sweet individual. Leadership everywhere. So I'm going to give him credit for the entire nation. He was leading the nation, and maybe we need more Ralph Hannings back. I thank you so much for the honor. Lynn, I want to hear your speech here. Congratulations to you. At one time, I have to say, all call them Brenda and the Angel. And, we appreciate all they do for the city of Hendersonville and all each of you do for the city of Hendersonville. Thank you so much. I wish I could remember that story I started today.
Congratulations again. It's a well-deserved award. I had the pleasure of serving Bill Chamber Board for 14 years, and he's an absolute privilege. He's a very intelligent man. He demands and deserves a lot of respect. So again, congratulations. Right now, what I'd like to do is invite up Lisa Breyer. She is our chair-elect this year, also the owner of Goddard School. She is going to introduce our speaker this afternoon.
Good afternoon. It is my pleasure to introduce our luncheon speaker. It's Brad Tammen. Brad is the Vice President and General Manager of the Nashville Sounds. Brad serves as the General Manager and VP of the Sounds and oversees all day-to-day operations related to the ball club. He was named to his current post in September 2010 after serving as the club's Vice President of Sales and Marketing since October of 2009. He came to Music City after 9 years with the Salt Lake Bees, where he served as Assistant General Manager and oversaw corporate sales as well as all day-to-day operations. Brad began his career in 1990 with the Oklahoma City 89ers, the AAA affiliate of the Texas Rangers. During his 11 years with Oklahoma, Tammen served as Director of Sales and Promotions and was instrumental in directing sales and marketing efforts for the opening of the AT&T Bricktown Ballpark in 1998. A native of Charleston, Illinois, Brad is a graduate of Eastern Illinois University. He and his wife Tammy have 3 children, Addie, Camden, and Layla, and they reside in Hendersonville. Please help me welcome Brad Tammen.
Thank you. I do love calling Hendersonville home. When I moved here 3 years ago, I had no idea. I had to make a quick decision, and we went all over the 5-county area, and there was no question after we made our first trip to Hendersonville, this was going to be home. So we love it here. Hope to be here a long time. Wendy, they can't get you. I have a tradition that I only started here in Tennessee. That we got, baseball isn't baseball without throwing first pitch out. So I've given Wendy the honor to find out. It looks like he's going to get his arm ready. All right, now straighten up. No, you got to get up. Go back by the camera. Let me get out of the way then. No chandeliers. They're aside. Back it up. Fastball first. And I don't have a couple. Get that $8,000 camera. Congratulations on your fine honor. I've got maybe about 20 minutes, I think, so I've got a lot. I can talk all day. But I'm going to talk about some key pieces on, can everybody hear me all right? I actually mean that when I say I love Hendersonville. I am not kidding. I've lived from Illinois to Oklahoma down to Utah, and now I'm in Hendersonville, and I really think this is home. And my kids love it here. My wife couldn't be happier. I have 2 kids that go over to station camp, or they will be going to station camp. And I have another son that just became a freshman and is going to JP2, and he's loving life over there. So we couldn't be happier. I started my career at 23 years ago to get to this position, and to be honest with you, I hope I'm here a long time. It was an easy decision, to be honest with you, to move back home, because I miss the South, I miss the Southern hospitality. Up to 4.5 hours up the road in Charleston, Illinois, so I can go back home now and see family, and it's so nice. Yeah, a little tidbit information, Eastern Illinois has got a little background. Did you know that there's 3 NFL coaches that came from Eastern Illinois? Mike Shanahan, you've got Brad Childress, and Sean Payton, which he's not coaching right now. But also Tony Romo played there, and there's got quite a few athletes that have gone through that little town. What I'd like to do is go back a little bit in my career. I love baseball, I played it through college, and why not start a career in it? And here I am 23 years later in my, I guess you'd say, dream job at this point. But I started out in Oklahoma, and I went through a lot in Oklahoma. In 11 years in Oklahoma, I was fortunate to work in a ballpark that was very similar to Greer Stadium. That was 36 years old. It was called All Sports Stadium. It's really one sport. They don't play baseball in that stadium. And here I am in 35-year-old Greer Stadium, and we have a goal to get into a new ballpark. And I'm going to come back to the ballpark situation here in a minute. And then I had an opportunity after 8 years in Oklahoma City to open up a new ballpark in Bricktown. Has anybody been to Bricktown, downtown Oklahoma City, and seen that new ballpark? I say new, it's on its 15th year, but it's pretty darn nice. That was rated number 2 in the country behind Memphis' AutoZone ballpark when we opened that up. How many have been to Memphis and seen that beautiful ballpark? That's a monster. That's a beautiful ballpark. You don't see minor league ballparks that size, and I don't think you'll see them. That's just too big, but and it costs a bunch. But that's a beautiful ballpark. So I was proud to be in a ballpark that was 2 years. We're rated number 2 behind Memphis in 2000. And then opportunity came up to go out to Salt Lake City, and I've done everything I could in Salt Lake or in Oklahoma City. And why not take a chance and let's go west and live in the mountains? Why not? So we did, and I was fortunate out there to work for a tremendous ownership, which was the owners of the Utah Jazz. I learned a lot on the NBA side of it, as well as the baseball side. And we were also in a beautiful ballpark. But what I just learned the inner workings of just a first-class facility, and I want to get that here. This town is too good not to have it's a world-class town. It's too good not to have a world-class baseball park. And Greer Stadium is it's old. It's 35 years old, but what a lot of people don't know, how many of you haven't been out there, be honest, in the last 4 years? Please be honest, not to hurt my feelings. About maybe 40% of them. Well, our ownership has come in new ownership, I say new, 4 years now. But they put $3 million into Greer Stadium and fixed it up to put a Band-Aid on it to get us by, which we hope will get us by into the new ballpark. And our ownership is talking, and we'll continue to talk with Mayor Dean and try to get this thing going. This is a huge baseball town. I mean, there's a lot of history here. But what I want to also do before I want to talk a little bit about baseball. I'm going to give you some facts, and this will say a lot. Let me grab my notes here. I'm trying to glance through. I can talk all day on this. But I want to tell you some interesting facts first about what we're all about. This is all new info, too, in the last few months. Did you know that let me show you the average cost of why minor league baseball, there were 42 million fans last year in minor league baseball. There's 160 baseball teams around the country. Now, if you go around this region, you're going to do Memphis, Jackson, out in Sevierville, Young's, up in Bowling Green, where park? Chattanooga, yeah, beautiful park down there. You go a little further south, you get into Gwinnett. What do they all have in common? New ballparks, pretty much. Current day ballparks would be a better way to state it. Let me tell you why minor league baseball is so important. And this is hot off the press. For an average family of 4 to attend a ball game, for 2 tickets, 2 adult tickets, 2 children's tickets, 4 soft drinks, 2 beers, 4 hot dogs, 2 programs, and a parking pass, the average cost for the minor league baseball is just under $60. That's pretty good if you really look at it. Major League Baseball, the same package, goes to $197. National Hockey League, and I love the Predators as much as everybody here, it goes up to $287. The NBA, which I worked in that atmosphere, is $326 for a family of 4. And then I love the Titans too. It's addicting. $427 on average. And this is a study that's been done by Team Marketing. So that shows you how minor league baseball is. It's affordable family entertainment. A couple other facts. I want to get into it. There were 42 million fans in minor league baseball. Since 1990, there are 160 minor league clubs, right, throughout the country, from single A to triple A. Does anybody have any idea how many new ballparks have been built since 1990? Close, 120. So that means there's 40 old ballparks, and we're one of them. But we do a good job, don't get me wrong, I think, with what we've got. But I'm going to share with you some interesting facts. We have the oldest ballpark in the Pacific Coast League, 35 years old, built in 1978. The only other ballpark that I don't even consider older because it's been renovated was Roy Stadium in the International League, AAA. It was built, opened in '46, but they've done renovations since. But that's the Boston Red Sox, and they have tradition. But every other ballpark out of the 30 AAA clubs is new, pretty much in the last 20 years. Current day, video boards, you name it. We don't even have video boards at Rear right now. But we're hoping we get to that point. Why invest now when we do it right and we get to the new ballpark? I thought that was quite interesting as I look at it. Another thing is attendance. We do fine. 35-year-old ballpark, we still draw 300,000+ people a year. But let me tell you where it'll take us when we get to that new ballpark. Round Rock Express, I'm just going to talk right now about Pacific Coast League. Owned by Nolan Ryan, great family ownership, strong outside of the Austin, Texas area. As of right now, they're averaging 8,300 fans a game. They've drawn almost 500,000 fans after 59 games this year so far. Okay, last year we drew 330 and we had 72 games. The next would be Albuquerque. They are just 468,000. They average 7,800 a game. Sacramento right now is averaging 7,700 a game. The Iowa Cubs in a newly renovated facility in the last 10 years, 7,100. Salt Lake Bees, my old ballpark, which is a fairly new ballpark too, 7,000 a game. Memphis Redbirds, I mentioned, 6,700 a game. Fresno Grizzlies, 6,300. And the list goes all the way down. And then when you get to the bottom 4 in our league, you're dealing with Nashville, Colorado Springs, Las Vegas, and Tucson. What's that telling you? Attendance goes with the facility. We would most certainly be one of the marquee ballparks in the country. No doubt, with the entertainment downtown in Nashville. We can get it down by the river. It sounds like, what's that movie, Down by the River? John Candy, whatever it was. Maybe Saturday Night Live skit. That's what it was. But there's 3 spots in December that the mayor came out with. The thermal site was the original spot that we thought would be great. I still think it's great. But obviously you can see what they're doing. They want to turn that into an outdoor green venue, amphitheater, concert. Zach Brown Band is going to be there in October, I believe. So that's their goal there. But we would love to be across the river in the downtown setting, close to the convention center, because that means so much to us for walk-up traffic. When I came to Nashville, I couldn't tell you how surprised I am with the walk-up crowd in this town, even at Greer Stadium. On a Friday, Saturday, we'll get 2,000 to 2,500 people that'll just walk up or drive up and buy a ticket. That's unheard of. I didn't have that in Salt Lake, didn't have it in Oklahoma. Fans here are hungry. They support us even at Greer Stadium. When we get to that new ballpark, it'll be a really tough ticket. And it blows me away. And the other issue we have at Greer is that when we get to that 6,000 to 7,000 threshold, parking becomes an issue. How many of you have been there and you have to fight for parking? And you know, we become almost a victim of our own success when we get to 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 And that's where we have issues with parking, so we're out. And you gotta walk blocks to get there. So that's another issue we need the facility in a better situation with the ballpark, parking downtown. Now, in the International League, the other AAA, why are we even in the why are we in the Pacific Coast League? I'll never figure out. We should be in the International League personally. I'd do it tomorrow if they said we could switch leagues, because it saves me a tremendous amount of travel costs. We could go 2 hours up the road to Louisville, we could go to Indianapolis, we could go down to Gwinnett, Columbus. Those are all quick bus trips. Fly out the East Coast and then bus trip up and down the coast. So my travel budget would be cut huge. I've spent between $400,000 or $500,000 just getting our players around each year. When you travel with 30 players, it gets costly in today's travel. So, but that's another story. I could go on and on. But the teams in the International League, Columbus, Indianapolis, Lehigh Valley, Louisville, which is a beautiful ballpark up there downtown on the river, Toledo, Buffalo, which I was just at for the All-Star game. All these facilities are very nice. And it just tells you those are all leaders in their league in attendance. I'm optimistic that it'll happen. To be honest with you, I'm here because I think it will. Would I have left what I had to come here? Probably not if I didn't feel comfortable in what I think could happen here. And I'm a big believer in that. So, any questions on that? I mean, I could talk all day on it. And when we get to that next point, I'd love to come back here and give a slide presentation when we get to the next ballpark phase. And I will do a full presentation around the community. That's kind of my take. We're optimistic. Our ownership's been communicating and talking kind of behind the scenes a little bit. We're trying to get the ball rolling. I know the mayor had a big issue trying to get his budget passed with the property tax increase, so that's behind. And hopefully we can move forward and get to the ballpark, because this town deserves it. Any questions so far? And I'm going to talk a little bit on our team. I know we have about 5 minutes. I'll be happy to stay and talk longer on anything on the side. Our team, yes, sir.
Who's going to build the stadium?
That's a good question. Well, we know it's going to have to be some type of partnership. I mean, there were those days, 100%, maybe those are very difficult. We know that. In Oklahoma City, I was very fortunate to be a part of the MAPS project. It was a 9 project, $350 million sales tax referendum that the city voted in. That's why the Oklahoma City Thunder are in the facility, and that's why they have the Oklahoma City Thunder. The ballpark was the first of 9 projects that was complete, but that was back in the mid-90s when Mayor Dorff saw that. That was a rare, I don't think anything's ever been done like that in the city, in a veteran sense. So who's going to build it? Obviously, we obviously would love to see a partnership with the city, and the details of that between our owner and Mayor Dean. But we know that there's going to be some type of partnership. But I don't have the exact answer right now on that. So. Our team started out 4-15. Did you all know that? Yeah. Oh, you did? Good. I like this. A diehard here. That's probably that's my second worst start in the season for a season. In Oklahoma City, we started 9-27, ended up 52-92. But again, as I said, most people probably don't know our record. I think we're about 10 games up. Right now we're 53-64, so we've really turned it around. However, we've got a team they're running away with it. The Omaha Storm Chasers are going to take the division. So even though we're in second place, we're not going to get there. But we are about the family entertainment. Friday, Saturday, fireworks, giveaways. And I do not want to leave anything here, so take your Richard Sturban bobbleheads with you, your hats, your sunflower seeds. We thought it was very big. Richard Sturban, if he's not on the road with the Oak Ridge boys, he's always at our ballpark. Our owner and I talked about it and said, why not honor Richard? This guy is the biggest baseball fan. He lives here in Hendersonville. That's why I saved some for the tables today. We gave those away 2 weeks ago. Why not honor Richard? And this guy is ecstatic. When you see him and you see him around town, say, hey, I've seen your bobblehead. He's one here. So I got a text picture just the other day from his wife. And Richard and the original President Bush were sitting there, and President Bush has Richard's bobblehead, and they're smiling ear to ear. So Richard brought him one when he had lunch with him about a week or so ago. But we're entertainment. Please feel free to take what you want with you. And in closing, and if anybody has any questions, I'll be happy to take it on the side. I like to do a little this day in baseball, and then you guys have drawings, right? I'm going to leave. I have this just arrived from Milwaukee, since we are the Brewers affiliate. It's the Italian sausage and the sausage race. So I'll have you all draw what you want with these. I have a hat, I have a variety of things, so I'll leave it into your drawings and you can do it. And I have kind of a light thing here. Anybody see the news where the PA announcer, I'll just kind of close with this kind of fun tidbit. This is a DJ down in Daytona, got kicked out of the game. Well, most people don't realize, but we can all get kicked out of the game, not just the players and the coaches. Well, the DJ down in Daytona played 3 blind mice when the umpire made a bad call. And the umpire turned around, you haven't seen the video, you can do it on YouTube, I'm sure you can see it, and threw him out. So the umpire has the authority to cut the music off, there's no music, no PA announcer, everything was quiet the rest of the game. And so from what I've been told, the marketing guy of some sort gets on top of the dugout and he just yells out the next player's name because there's no PA system. So it reminds me, it reminds me of home plate umpire Angel Hernandez. It was in 2001 on this date. He ejects Steve McMichael from Wrigley. He's a former Chicago Bear from the Wrigley Field booth upstairs for singing "Take Me Out" of the ball game. But before he did that, he got on the microphone and he says, "Hey, well, I'll have a talk with that umpire." And he's made some comment before he sung. And the umpire, Angel Hernandez, who I know from his minor league days, is a hothead. And he don't take anything. He immediately ejected him out of the Cubs booth. I almost had the same situation in Salt Lake. I had Mark Miotich, who's our pitcher for the Bees, home team, was getting shelled. They batted around, he couldn't get it out. He's one of their Los Angeles Angels top prospects. Couldn't get it out, and finally, after probably about a dozen or so of batters, he gets the last out, and our PA music guy plays Hallelujah. As loud as he can, and I'm in the press box, and I go shooting in there, and I start chewing him out. I said, "What are you thinking?" So Bart's walking off the field, and I won't give the complete gesture, but he takes his hat off, and he uses a finger up in the press box as he's walking off, and he did not appreciate it, as he was like wiping the sweat off. I will never forget that as long as I live. But that brought back memories the other day when that made national news. Again, I'd be happy to take questions on the side. I've got trivia, but we probably a little time. I have tickets. I probably got about 12 things we can give away. Tickets, and please, hopefully I'll see you around the community. Again, I love Hendersonville. It's a great place. Thank you.
You got a child named Tammen?
Tammen, yeah.
I know you're in the baseball business,
Yeah.
but did you name your child after Baltimore's baseball stadium?
Yeah, I did.
Real quick story.
My real quick story on that. That's very, very observant. All right, I wasn't very smart when we timed our second child, Camden, our only boy. And my wife was due to deliver the opening of the new ballpark in Oklahoma City. And we go to the OBGYN, and it's opening week. And I go to the doctor, and she goes, "Well, he's breech, and we're going to have to go in and induce tomorrow morning." And I said, "Wait, doctor?" I said, "No, I don't think so." I said, "I've got Nolan Ryan making an appearance tomorrow at the ballpark, and we're opening a new ballpark, and we wait a week." She looked at me with evil eyes, and I said, "Okay, we'll be here in the morning." And so Camden was born, and he took me through a lot of hell that week. And anyway, he was born the next morning, and I don't think I'm bad. I am a good dad. But my wife ended up having him by noon, and I was at the ballpark a little after lunch. And I had to take care of Ryan. So I said, "We got to give him a baseball name." And actually, my wife came up with Camden. So that's
was very enlightening. I looked it up, by the way, and when Greer Stadium opened, Saturday Night Fever was in movie. So that, just to give you a little perspective, that was an eye-opener. And also, congratulations, Bill. I understood you got signed as a middle relief pitcher, basically.
That was my third.
Oh, that was your third. Okay, very impressive. Very impressive. Thanks again. We appreciate you coming out. Okay, we're moving on to some announcements. One announcement I have is the 2012 Harvest Moon Soiree. I only knew it was pronounced soiree because I play words with friends. So I hope it is. That's going to be held on Friday, September 14th at the Epic Center in Gallatin. Entertainment by the Volunteer State Community College Bluegrass Ensemble, Rick Roberts, humorist. Tickets are $75 per person, and for sponsorship opportunities or to RSVP, please contact Lori Johnson. I also, at this time, would like to invite our display tables to come up and tell us a little bit about your businesses.
Hi, my name is Rita. I'm the owner of Scartula's Italian Ice. How many people have been there? How many people don't know where the heck we are? How many people don't know what Italian Ice is? Just one, yay. Okay, Italian Ice, nothing like shaved ice. Italian Ice is fat-free, cholesterol-free, non-dairy, and non-gluten, which is very important nowadays. We also have just expanded a little. We now have 9 flavors of ice cream and homemade Italian gelato. We changed the flavors. A lot of them do have alcohol in them, so you always want to just ask for a taste test. We are a mom and pop business. It's me and my husband Todd. He's at the store right now. The name Scartula is not Italian. It's named after Scarlet the Chihuahua, Tula the Lab, Scartulas. We adopted a little boy named him Willie, again 4 legs. And we adopted him from Proverbs 12:10 last year. And now we were stuck with, what do we do with Willie? He's not part of the business. So we opened the hot dog section, and we call that Willie's Wieners. So Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from 12 to 2, we have dollar wieners. And the rest of the week, we have hot dogs also. We also serve nachos. We have New York-style pretzels. We have cannolis. And we want to make a stand here in Hendersonville. We are a mom and pop. We need everyone's help to come support us, try us out. Tuesday, 2 for Tuesday, large Italian ice, buy one, get one free. Bring the kids in, help support local small business. It's so important to us. We also have a mobile push cart. So if you have a business having a grand opening, customer appreciation, any of the schools, please let us know. We can be there with our cart. Since we've been open, and it's now 19 months, we have given back to Hendersonville over $5,000 from proceeds that we have been invited to schools and such. We give back 10 to 20% of all of our sales. So we want to stay here. We want to help you. We're asking you guys, please come out and help us. And we want you all to try Italian Ice, so come on down. Right next to GameStop, conveniently located between Home Goods and Kirkland, so all women stop in between when you're done, and men, when they're out there shopping, come and spend time with us. Okay? Thank you.
I'm Bill Hogan. I'm the headmaster at Sumner Academy. I remember years ago, when I'd say I'm the headmaster, people say headmaster, principal. We had a new student, and the new student said to one of our students, why do we call him the headmaster and not the principal? And this young lady, whose mother, Brenda Weitzel, teaches at the school, said just loud enough that I could hear, well, you know what they call the restroom on a boat? They call it the head. He's in charge of all the restrooms. And there's some truth to that, because when the janitors aren't around, I have a plunger with notches on it, so that's true. My message today, I just want to say to you, well, 2 things. One, we have a table, got some little souvenirs, but more than that is I am convinced that what we need in this area is great schools, public and private, both together. We are going to grow. One of the first things that people look for is they look at the schools, not just private schools, not just public, but together. They want options. And so it's so important that we support both types of schools, because that will bring more people, more businesses to our community. So let's work together for a great Hendersonville, great Sumner County. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Wendy Hughes. Did everybody put a card in the bowl? That's it. We got a lot of drums. Do you have time yet? If anybody forgot, I was going to sit here because we got some announcements. Good job. No. We have got a lot going on in the chamber for the next coming week. So for the connection opportunities, we have changed, as of this morning, we now have coffee connections. So every Tuesday morning at 8 o'clock, come to the chamber. I'll be there about 7:45 getting the coffee ready. But we have topics each week. So over the next 3 weeks, we'll cover topics like CMS versus other website formats, tax implications for small business, and QuickBooks assistance. So if you need help in any of those, we'll be adding topics as we go, but that's the next 3 weeks coming up. Every Wednesday, you have a leads exchange opportunity from noon to 1 at the chamber. And our next business after hours is August 16th at Food Lynn's Asian Cuisine from 5 to 7. The September luncheon, if you've got your smartphone, check it because there is a holiday, so we will be pushed from the first Tuesday to the second Tuesday. So September 11th will be the luncheon. The next taste event, Cassie's working with her committee already, and the lovely Lisa Byers with the Goddard School will be presenting our Taste of Hendersonville on September 27th at the Streets of Indian Lake. More information on that is to come. If you have an upper tier membership with us that gets the free tickets, Cassie will be mailing those to you. So be on the lookout the next couple weeks, probably the next couple of weeks. And Brenda's tapping on the box of tickets that we will sell today. If you would like to go on and get your tickets, we always have a big crowd and we'd like to see everyone there. The next advocacy opportunity in the October format for this luncheon, we decided it's a huge mayoral race. I think we have 4 candidates that have thrown their name in the hat. So we have invited all 4 candidates to come, and we're going to have a mayoral forum right here during this meeting. So be sure to make your reservations. That date is October 9th. Now, I'm going to get Brenda out with drawings because it looks like we got a lot. So let's call. If you want to go in the drawing. We always have signature cleaners. Advance is always so gracious to give a $25 gift certificate. So we're just going to, you can come up here as we draw them out if you want. Chip Pitzer. Blue Lens with our next business after hours. They have given us 2 $25 gift certificates. So take time to look lucky 2 winners. Beth Cooksey. Football today. And Chuck Porter. The Girl Scouts. We got a visit, and we knew if we didn't get rid of these at the office, we're giving two boxes away. So the first box goes to Brad Kamer. Is that right? Is that right? Callie Chester. And we had a guest today with Portside Java. Raise your hand because I didn't see where he's in, but he's giving away some coffee because he's, I think, going to be in a coffee shop in town. So, Laura Dye with Bank of Nashville.
I'd also like that fail because I was rushed talking at the end there. I meant to introduce Josh Barnes, one of my account executives, who also went to Station Camp. So, Josh, you want to help distribute these? Go to Sumner County. All right, let's do this. Who wants to? Let's do this Milwaukee Brewers package hat with a bottle. This is a one-of-a-kind. Just came in a couple days ago.
This would be Lisa Byers with daughter.
Here is last year's MVP, Ryan Braun. The Sounds did a giveaway many years ago.
Olivia Stovall-Wilson, Bluegrass Ministry.
Hey, Corey Hart, Bowling Green native. Plays for the Brewers right now.
Lori Johnson.
All right, I've got 4-pack of tickets, several of these. You want to keep them rolling? There you go.
Stephanie Johnson with Pennington Place. Mike with the Examiner. Where'd you go? I saw you back. Linda Bolt. You still here?
How many you have left, John?
Carol Maynard.
Last tickets for 4.
Oh, if they left, we don't give it to them, do we?
Yeah, must be present to win, right?
Steve Mills.
And then, this one here, I'm gonna do it. This will be a suite that you can use, our owner's suite. We have 16 games left, and you can probably bring 16 of your friends up there. And believe me, it is a nice suite in Greer. It's got everything up there, and you can use it. We have 16 games left. I'll have to get your information personally, and I'll coordinate that.
Whitney Hughes. Teresa Steele.
Teresa. You gotta have a kid. So these are kids' jerseys.
Julie White.
All right.
And they're both girls.
Michelle Owen.
That's it.
Okay. Oh, you're not doing this
Oh
one?
wait, no, I've never made an error with this club. No, actually, I have 2 game balls. You want these? These are real game balls.
Only if they can catch them.
Yeah, that's right. Let's do that.
Scott Howard. Court-side job.
Yeah. All right. That's an official PCL ball. Did you know that Major League Baseball and Pacific Coast Leagues are made by Rawlings, but did you know that the seams are different? Major League Baseball seams are a little tighter. So when a Major League pitcher comes on a rehab, like Zach Greinke last year, or a few years ago I had Bartolo Colon, they have the option of using Major League Baseballs or Pacific Coast League baseballs. What do you think Zach Greinke used?
Pacific Coast League.
All right, yeah, they had higher seams. It's hard, you didn't realize, I didn't know that until many years back. Interesting.
So you got one more to give?
One more.
Shannon England.
All right. There you go. Thank y'all.
Brad, thank you so much. We appreciate you bringing all of the gifts and all of the information. That was wonderful, and all the hats on the tables and that sort of thing. I'm hoping to get a couple of those for my great-grandsons, which will be kind of fun. So we have actually managed to get all of this in on time. I want to wish every one of you a great afternoon and a great rest of the week, and come back next month, and I know we'll probably see you before then. But thanks so much. Have a good one.